Welcome, listeners, to Classic Tales Unveiled, your weekly dive into the stories that have shaped our cultural landscape. Today, we journey back to a pivotal moment in American history, to a sprawling Georgia plantation, and into the heart of one of literature's most enduring and controversial heroines. We're talking, of course, about Margaret Mitchell's epic saga and its iconic film adaptation, Gone with the Wind. Set against the tumultuous backdrop of the American Civil War and the subsequent Reconstruction era. This is a tale of love, loss, survival, and an unyielding spirit. Our story centers on the fiery Scarlett O'Hara, the charming rogue Rhett Butler, the honorable but conflicted Ashley Wilkes, and the gentle Melanie Hamilton. Prepare to be swept away as we unravel the intricate plot of this cinematic masterpiece. Our narrative opens in 1861, on the eve of a war that would forever alter the South. We find Scarlett O'Hara, a privileged Southern belle, at her family's beloved cotton plantation, Tara, in Georgia. Scarlett is beautiful, manipulative, and accustomed to getting her way. Her primary obsession is Ashley Wilkes, the thoughtful and artistic scion of a neighboring plantation, 12 Oaks. However, Ashley is engaged to his sweet and kind cousin, Melanie Hamilton, a woman Scarlett views with a mixture of disdain and envy. The tension escalates at an engagement party at 12 Oaks. Scarlett, convinced she can win Ashley's affection, makes a bold advance, only to be gently but firmly rebuffed. Unbeknownst to her, this private exchange is overheard by another guest, the roguish and cynical Rhett Butler, a man of questionable reputation but undeniable charm. His knowing gaze and sardonic wit immediately mark him as a formidable presence in Scarlett's life. The festive atmosphere is shattered by the news that President Lincoln has called for volunteers to fight the South. The young men, fueled by patriotic fervor, rush to enlist. In a fit of pique and a desperate attempt to make Ashley jealous, Scarlett impulsively marries Melanie's younger brother, Charles Hamilton. Tragically, Charles soon dies of measles and pneumonia while serving in the Confederate States Army, leaving Scarlett a widow before the war has truly begun. Her mother, hoping to temper Scarlett's wild spirit, sends her to Atlanta to stay with Melanie and her aunt. Yet, even in mourning, Scarlett cannot be contained. She scandalizes society by attending a charity bazaar in her widow's weeds and, even more shockingly, waltzing with Rhett Butler, who has now become a wealthy blockade runner for the Confederacy, profiting from the war. The tide of the war inexorably turns against the Confederacy. The Battle of Gettysburg marks a devastating blow, and many of the men from Scarlettstown are lost. 8 months later, as the Union Army lays siege to Atlanta, the city becomes a hell's cape of fire and destruction. Amidst this chaos, Melanie goes into labor. With only the aid of Scarlett and the loyal house slave, Prissy, Melanie gives birth. Rhett Butler, ever the pragmatist, arrives to help them escape the burning city. However, in a moment that foreshadows his complex relationship with Scarlett, Rhett abruptly abandons them on the road, choosing to join the Confederate forces, leaving Scarlett to navigate the perilous journey back to Tara alone. Scarlett's return to Tara is not the homecoming she envisioned. The once vibrant plantation is deserted, save for her distraught father, her 2 sisters, and the faithful former slaves, Mammy and Pork. She discovers that her beloved mother has succumbed to typhoid fever, and her father has lost his mind from grief and shock. Tara itself has been pillaged by Union troops, its fields untended and barren. In this moment of utter despair, Scarlett's indomitable will ignites. Standing amidst the ruins of her home, she makes a solemn vow. "As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again." This declaration marks a profound shift in Scarlett, transforming her from a spoiled belle into a determined survivor, willing to do whatever it takes to protect her family and rebuild Tara. With the Confederacy defeated, the South enters the harsh reality of Reconstruction. The O'Haras, once plantation owners, are now forced to toil in their own cotton fields, struggling to survive. Ashley Wilkes returns from the war, but he is a broken man, unable to adapt to the new world and of little practical help at Tara. Scarlett, still harboring her childhood infatuation, begs him to run away with her. Ashley confesses his deep desire for her and kisses her passionately, but ultimately declares he cannot abandon Melanie, his moral compass. Further tragedy strikes when Scarlett's father, attempting to chase away a carpetbagger from his land, is thrown from his horse and killed. Faced with crippling Reconstructionist taxes that threaten to seize Tara, Scarlett desperately seeks funds. She unsuccessfully appeals to Rhett Butler, who, despite his wealth, refuses to give her money, perhaps testing her resolve. In a calculated move, Scarlett then manipulates her younger sister Sue Ellen's fiancé, the middle-aged and wealthy general store owner Frank Kennedy, into marrying her, securing the financial stability Tara so desperately needs. Scarlett takes over Frank's business, demonstrating a shrewd business acumen previously unseen. However, violence continues to plague the South. After Scarlett is attacked while driving alone through a shanty town, Frank, Ashley, and several other accomplices embark on a night raid for revenge. The raid results in Frank's death. Shortly after Frank's funeral, Rhett Butler, who has been observing Scarlett's resilience and resourcefulness, proposes marriage. Scarlett, seeing an opportunity for further financial security and perhaps a flicker of genuine affection, accepts, beginning one of cinema's most iconic and tumultuous relationships. Rhett and Scarlett's marriage is a passionate but deeply conflicted affair. They have a daughter, whom Rhett adores and nicknames Bonnie Blue. Rhett showers Bonnie with affection, hoping to win Scarlett's heart, but Scarlett remains emotionally distant, still pining for the idealized Ashley. Chagrined at the perceived ruin of her figure after childbirth, she refuses to have any more children or share a bed with Rhett, further widening the chasm between them. The lingering rumors of Scarlett's affection for Ashley come to a head. One day at Frank's mill, Ashley's sister, India, witnesses Scarlett and Ashley embracing. India, who harbors an intense dislike for Scarlett, eagerly spreads the rumors throughout Atlanta society. Later that evening, Rhett, having heard the whispers, forces a defiant Scarlett to attend Ashley's birthday party. Melanie, ever loyal and understanding, stands by Scarlett, publicly defending her. After returning home, Scarlett finds Rhett downstairs, drunk and enraged. They argue fiercely about Ashley. In a moment of raw passion and frustration, Rhett kisses Scarlett against her will, declaring his intent to have sex with her that night, and carries the struggling Scarlett to the bedroom. This controversial scene highlights the darker, more possessive aspects of Rhett's love. The next morning, Rhett, seemingly remorseful, apologizes for his behavior and offers Scarlett a divorce, which she proudly rejects, fearing the social disgrace. When Rhett returns from an extended trip to London, Scarlett informs him that she is pregnant again. An argument ensues, leading to Scarlett falling down a flight of stairs and suffering a miscarriage. While Scarlett is recovering, tragedy strikes again, this time irrevocably shattering Rhett's spirit. Bonnie Blue dies in a pony accident, attempting to jump a fence. Rhett is utterly devastated, and his grief creates an unbridgeable divide between him and Scarlett. The final act of our drama unfolds with Melanie Hamilton's failing health. Weakened by her latest pregnancy, Melanie lies on her deathbed. As Scarlett attempts to console Ashley, who is distraught by his wife's impending death, she finally has a moment of clarity. She realizes that her lifelong obsession with Ashley was merely a childish fantasy, a pursuit of an idealized past. It is Rhett, the man who truly understood her strength and her flaws, whom she genuinely loves. But this realization comes too late. As Scarlett rushes to find Rhett, she discovers him preparing to leave Atlanta, his spirit broken by Bonnie's death and Scarlett's perceived indifference. In a desperate plea, Scarlett begs him to stay, confessing her love. Rhett, however, is beyond persuasion. His famous, cutting retort, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," seals their fate. He walks away into the early morning fog, leaving Scarlett alone amidst the ruins of her personal life. A distraught Scarlett returns to Tara, the one constant in her tumultuous life. Standing once again on the familiar soil, she resolves to win Rhett back, clinging to the hope that she can rebuild what has been lost. Her iconic final line, full of both despair and defiant optimism, encapsulates her enduring spirit, After all, tomorrow is another day. The film ends not with a definitive resolution, but with Scarlett's unwavering determination to face the future, whatever it may bring. And so concludes our journey through the epic narrative of Gone with the Wind, a story that, despite its controversies, continues to captivate audiences with its unforgettable characters and its powerful portrayal of survival in a world turned upside down. Join us next time on Classic Tales Unveiled as we explore another timeless story. Until then, keep turning those pages and keep listening. Goodbye.